So in this example, of course, we covered what is serialization, what is deserialization. Can you explain with a program? Okay, up to that, and what is the role of serializable interface, like we covered, right? In the serialization context, there is one keyword which play very important role. What is that keyword? Is transient keyword. Are you getting transient keyword will play very important role in serialization. Are you getting? What is the need, or what is the purpose of this keyword? Even for interview room also it's very important. So the first point, forget about purpose, first where you can apply. Transient is a modifier which is applicable only for variables. You can't apply anywhere else, only for variables. So transient modifier you can't declare for methods, we can't use for classes. It is applicable only for variables. Transient is the modifier, right? Now my point is, what is the role of this transient in our serialization context? Sir, in serialization, what we are doing? We are saving state of an object to a file. Saving state of an object to a file, is it permanent storage or temporary storage? File is going to store in the hard disk, which is the permanent only. Are you getting? In serialization, we are saving our data permanently for the future purpose. But while saving data, there may be a chance of some sensitive information. Best example for you. Sir, about serialization, I have one very important valuable document is there. I want to share for all of you people, right? Can you please share your mail ID? If I can ask this one, everyone in the classroom can able to share. Sir, this is my mail ID. Can you please share that document for us? I will ask, can you please share your password also? If I can ask, can you please share your password? No one is going to share, because if the mail ID and password both, if I know, there may be a chance of misuse. Regarding mail ID, you can publish anywhere, but password we should not save. Password we should not publish anywhere. Are you getting? Same, ATM card is there. ATM card you can keep anywhere, but PIN number we should not. So in our data, there may be a chance of some sensitive data is there. There may be a chance of some secure data is there. While saving our data permanently to the file, compulsory we have to think about this sensitive or secure data. Are you getting? Sir, at the time of serialization, if we don't want to save the value of a particular variable to meet the security constraint, best example for you, assume that I and j, two variables are there. Assume I is, okay, assume I is username, and j is password. Sir, which data is the secure? J, sensitive data. You can save username anywhere, but password we should not. If you don't want to save the value of a particular variable, declare that variable as a transient. Are you getting right? At the time of serialization, if we don't want to save the value of a particular variable to meet the security constraint, such type of variable we have to declare with the transient. Sir, now where I assume username, j is the password, declare j as transient. Okay, then immediately may ask, if I declare a variable as the transient, what will happen? Very simple, sir. At the time of serialization, JVM will check if any variable is the transient or not. For if the variable is a transient, JVM ignore original value and save default value to the file. Are you getting? At the time of serialization, JVM ignores original value of transient variable and save default value to the file. Then what is the I values are? 10. What is the j values are? Because j value is what? Transient. That's why JVM ignore original value and save default value to the file. What is the j value? 0. Now I value is the 10, j value is 0. Are you getting? So now if I execute this program, what is the output by default? We will get 10 followed by 0, right? That is the role of transient keyword. Are you getting right? Sir, in serialization, if we don't want to save the value of a particular variable to meet the security constraint like password, pin number, these type of things we should not save. Such type of variable we have to declare with the transient. If a variable declared as the transient, at the time of serialization, JVM ignores original value and save default value to the file. Now, if J is the transient, instead of 20, 0 will be saved and 0 we are going to get. So, that's why the output by default we are going to get 10 followed by 0, right? I hope you people can hear clearly, right? Okay. Sir, let me execute this program. Here, just observe this one. Same example. If both variables are not transient, normal variables only, I didn't declare as the transient, what is the output by default we are getting? Let me execute this code, sir. What is the answer? 1020. Same previous example only, 1020, right? Sir, assume J is secured. J is the secured. So, transient. J is the secured, transient. Then, have you observed? What the answer by default we are going to get is 10 followed by 0. I hope you people can hear clearly that 10 followed by 0 itself is like we are going to get. Sir, assume I is also transient. Assume I is also transient. Then can you tell what is the output by default we will get? Both are transient. Sir, both default values only will be saved to the file. Default value for int 0. Then what answer by default we are going to get? 0 followed by 0, right? I hope terminology is very clear for you people, right? Okay. Sir, what is the role of transient? Okay. At the time of serialization, if we don't want to save the value of a variable to meet security constraint, such type of variable we have to declare with the transient keyword. Transient means not to serialize. Are you getting? Don't save, not to serialize. Are you getting? Transient means not to serialize. Don't serialize because the value don't serialize because it is the sensitive data. We should not save. Such type of variables we have to declare with the transient, right? Now the terminology is very clear. If any person is asking what about transient, you should be in a position to tell 2 or 3 conclusions. It is applicable only for variable. At the time of serialization, if you don't want to save the value of a particular variable to meet security constraints, such type of variable we have to declare with the transient. If a variable declared as the transient, what will happen? JVM ignores original value and save default value to the file. That's all. This is about transient, right? But in this, there are some small loopholes, extra loopholes are there about transient. I have one static variable is there. If I declare static variable as the transient, what will happen? I have one final variable is there. If I declare final variable as the transient, what will happen? Sir, first let me talk about static versus a transient. Here just observe the first one. I have static variable is there. Now I want to declare static variable as a transient. Remember carefully, sir. Can you tell what is the static variable? Now, what is the static variable? Static variable means class level data, nowhere related to object. Regarding instance variable is the part of object. Static variable is the part of class, nowhere related to object. But serialization is the concept applicable only for objects, but not for static variable. Just observe in this example. Sir, let me remove this code because you can able to identify easily, right? Sir, in this code here, just 1 minute, sir. Forget about this code here. Class dog is there. Listen, I have dog class is there. Implements serializable anywhere, right? Implement serializable. So do you know here I is instance variable, but j is static variable, sir. Static into j is equal to 20. Observe, I is instance variable, j is static variable. Can you tell which variable will be created first? is a static variable or instance variable? Static variable at the time of class loading only. Sir, j got created first. J is equal to 20. It got created at the time of class loading only. Sir, I am creating dog object. Dog d1 is equal to new dog. Whenever we are creating dog object, do you know here d1, which variable by default is coming? Only instance variable is coming. Sir, I want to serialize a dog object. Are you getting? Serialize a d1. If you are trying to serialize d1, do you know only I value by default will come. You know the process how you can serialize. I want to deserialize d1. Deserialize. Now this object is coming. What is the d2 value, sir? What is the I value? 10. Sir, from this conclusion, you people should be aware static variable is not part of object state. If it is not part of object state, it won't participate in serialization. If it is not participating in serialization, it won't participate. If I print SOP of d2.i d2.j. So d2.i coming from file, d2.j coming from class level method area. What is the value, sir? 20. So observe d2.i value is coming from file, but j value is coming from where? Okay, from class level method area. J value is coming not from file, right? Sir, static variable is not part of object state, and hence it won't participate in serialization. In this example, which variable participating in serialization? Only I, because it is the instance variable, but j is nothing but static variable. It's not participating in serialization. Okay, observe carefully. If it is not participating in serialization, declaring a static variable at the transient, what is the use? Nothing. If it is participating, JVM ignore original value, save default value. But it's not participating in the serialization. That's why declaring static variable as a transient, there is no use at all. Okay, make sure you people should be aware. Sir, if I declare this a static variable as a transient, what is the output by default? We will get same 1020 only. There is no difference in the output. Are you getting the point, right? Sir, simple conclusion. Static variable, serialization, nowhere related, because static variable is not part of object. If it is not part of object, it won't participate in serialization. Declaring static variable as a transient, there is no use or there is no impact, right? Okay, let me execute this example and let me show, sir. Here observe that, sir, here take a bit special care. Normal I and j both are instance variables. Normal I and j both are instance variables. Observe the answer. 1020. Normal. Sir, now j is the static. What is the answer, sir? Even it is the static, the output is always 1020. Let me declare j as a transient. Have you observed? Transient static into j is equal to 20. Let me save. Let me run this code. What is the answer? 1020 by default. Are you getting? So even though declaring static variable at the transient, there is no use at all. Okay, make sure you people should be aware. If I declare I as a transient, is the impact is there or not? Definitely the impact is there, because it is the instance variable. At the time of serialization, JVM will ignore original value and save default value to the file. Now observe this one. 0 followed by 20 is the answer, because I is the transient. JVM ignore original value and save default value, but j is a static transient. There is no impact at all. Okay, make sure you people should be aware. So conclusion from this story, static versus a transient, is static variable class level data. It is not part of object state, and hence it won't participate in serialization. Due to this, declaring static variable as a transient, there is no impact or there is no use at all. Is it clear for all of you? Right? Okay, that's all. Next, one more combination I have to discuss. If I declare final variable as the transient, what will happen? Sir, here just observe this. This is the last terminology related to that. Sir, here final versus a transient I want to discuss, sir. Can you tell what is a final? What is a final? Final variable means what? Constant. Its value never going to change. Final means constant. Yet a compile time only, every final variable will be replaced by the value. Are you getting it? Compile time only, final variable will be replaced by value. Yet a runtime, final variable not in variable form. Sir, what it means? Observe this. Sir, I have final int a is equal to 20, int b is equal to 20. Sir, a is the final but b is non-final. Let me print SOP of a and SOP of b, sir. SOP of a and SOP of b. Can you tell what is the value of a? What is the value of a? 10. Can I use the word a value always 10? Yes, because it is what? Final. Can you tell what is the value of b? 20. Is b value always 20? No. Maybe a chance of changing because it's a normal variable, right? If the way a value always 10, it won't be changed. Why? I have to wait until runtime, yet compile time only. Do you know this a will be replaced by 10, sir. Who is the responsible to do this replacement? Compiler only, yet compile time only. Now SOP of b. Are you getting? 10 SOP of b is nothing but like. So the terminology or the point here is every final variable will be replaced by the value at a compile time only. At runtime, final variable, such type of terminology not there because every final variable already replaced by the value. Sir, now here if I declare, observe a bit very carefully about this terminology. Sir, let me redraw once again this diagram with respect to final. Sir, I have dog is there. Here say this one. I have class dog is there, sir. Class dog implements serializable, implements serializable. Now final int a is equal to 10, int b is equal to 20. Are you getting? Final int a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. Sir, here I am creating a dog object. Dog d1 is equal to new dog. Dog d1 is equal to new dog. Sir, here do you know? Sir, 10 j value is nothing but 20. Do you know? Final variable, every final variable will be replaced by value at compile time only. That's why if I serialize, deserialize, deserialize, and then print SOP of d2.i d2.j. Do you know? Here this value 10 by default 20. This value by default is coming 10 followed by j is equal to 20. So do you know? Every final variable will be participated in serialization directly by value. That's why here 10 followed by 20 is coming at the output. Now my point is, if I declare final variable as transient, sir, if it is in variable form, my JVM will check if that variable is the final or not. If the variable is the final, if it is the variable, if it is there in variable form, then my JVM will check if that variable is the transient or not. But it's not in variable form. Then, sir, it never going to check whether the corresponding variable is the transient or not because it's not in variable form. That's why final variable will be participated in serialization directly by the value. So, even we are declaring final variable as a transient, there is no use or there is no impact at all. Are you getting that? Exactly same as static transient. If I declare static variable as the transient, no use. If I declare final variable as the transient, there is no use at all. I hope you people can aware clearly. Sir, let me show, let me execute this one. Here just observe this one. Sir, here just a normal variables I am taking. int I is equal to 10, int j is equal to 20, normal variable. Sir, what is the output by default we are getting? 10 followed by 20. If I can take I as the final, what is the answer? Same 10, 20. Same 10, 20. If I declare I as a transient, I as a transient, what is the answer? Same 10, 20. Are you getting? If I declare j as a transient, sir, j is not final. That's why immediately JVM ignored original value and save default value to the file. What the answer, sir? 10 followed by 0. 10 followed by 0, right? That's why make sure what is the need of transient keyword? What is the purpose of transient keyword? If I declare a variable as the transient, what will happen? If I declare static variable as the transient, what is the impact? If I declare final variable as the transient, what is the impact? Are you able to understand, right? Sir, let me summarize the things. Transient is the modifier applicable only for variables, and we can't apply for methods and classes. At the time of serialization, if we don't want to save the value of a particular variable to meet the security constraints, such type of variable we have to declare with the transient. If I declare a variable as the transient, while performing serialization, JVM ignores original value and the save default value to the file. Are you getting? So transient means not to serialize. Don't save the value of this variable. Can you please save default value? If you want to indicate to the JVM, declare that variable with a transient. Okay, that's all. That is the rule of transient. Static versus a transient. Static variable is not part of object. It won't participate in serialization. If it is not participating in serialization, then declaring static variable as a transient, there is no use or there is no impact. Similarly, final variable is there. Every final variable will be replaced by the value at compile time only. Final variable never be in variable form at runtime. Final variable will be participated in serialization directly by the value. That's why declaring final variable as a transient, there is no use at all. Are you able to understand what is a transient? Static versus a transient, final versus a transient, right? Sir, let me summarize whatever we covered with respect to the programmatic style. Sir, because I explained with small things, let me generate a small table so that you people can aware clearly, right? Here, just have a look once, sir. Very important terminology. Sir, here I am taking declaration, and then output, sir. With respect to the previous program, declaration and output. If I declare int I is equal to 10, int j is equal to 20. Sir, normal variable, int I and int j. What is the answer? 10 followed by 20. Are you getting? If I declare transient int I is equal to 10, int j is equal to 20. Sir, I is a transient. Now you are conveying to the JVM saying, don't save original value. Can you please save default value? What is the answer, sir? Yes, 0 followed by 20. Now, transient, static, int I is equal to 10. Sir, static variable declared as the transient, there is no impact at all. Transient int j is equal to 20. Transient int j is equal to 20. Sir, static variable declared as the transient, there is no use. That's why 10 as it is. But instance variable declared as the transient, JVM ignored original value, save default value to the file. Similarly, next case, transient int I is equal to 10. Sir, transient final int j is equal to 20. Sir, you can guess the answer. Instance variable transient 0. Final variable transient, no impact at all. What the answer? 0, 20. Next, last one, transient static int I is equal to 10. Transient static int I is equal to 10. Transient static int j is equal to 20. Are you getting? Transient static int I, transient static int j is equal to 20. Sir, what is the answer? 10 followed by 20, sir. That's all. You people should aware what is the rule of transient. If I declare static variable as the transient, if I declare final variable as the transient, what is the impact? Sir, if any person is asking, can you please explain about transient? Minimum half an hour you have to explain. What is the need? Where you can apply? If I declare static variable as the transient, if I declare final variable as the transient, what will happen? We should have clear clarity about this terminology, right? That's all, sir. This is role, or this is the role of transient keyword in serialization. Not to serialize. Don't save the value of this variable. Then we should go for transient. That's all, sir.